Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chicago. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to present Mumbai paper. Mr. Gaikwad, the Metropolitan Commissioner MMRDA, could not be present personally due to some official engagements. So I am presenting his paper. Before going into the detail, I would like to give an overview of the metropolitan region of Mumbai. Mumbai, as you all know, it's one of the, as one of the earlier speaker was telling, one of the densest populated area. The original Mumbai Corporation is about 437 square kilometers. The metropolitan region is about 10 times to that, which is under our jurisdiction, for which I am working, the organization for which I am working. About 7 municipal corporations and about 1,000 villages. The strengths of Mumbai, it is accountable for 5% of India's GDP, 1/3 national tax revenue. It has excellent work culture with qualified manpower, cosmopolitan population, ready to accept any nationality into the city. It is also the India's banking and financial center, home for major service sector. And the Bollywood, not to forget, it's the Indian film industry's happening place. Many of the participants with whom I discussed, they are also aware about the constraints Mumbai has. It's a linear city surrounded by sea on 3 sides, overburdened transportation system. About 50 to 60% of the population live in poor housing conditions, that is comprising of slums and dilapidated housing. Shortage of land for development, high real estate prices, declining quality of life, and regulatory constraints till very recently. These are being converted into opportunities by Mumbai. We are projected to touch 35 million in the metropolitan region by 2031. That was the original city area. And by 2031, we are also expecting to be 50% work participation ratio. That's the metropolitan region. Coming to the core subject, the downtown area needs urban renewal. It's almost a century-old city with old infrastructure, high density and congestion, dilapidated buildings, and influx of migrant workers. Mumbai has been working on various aspects of redeveloping. The cluster development is one of the brainchild of many of the urban planners. We have identified about 34 urban clusters, about 40 acres each, to address the redevelopment regeneration process. Yeah, there is abundant scope and also demand for redevelopment through this cluster development. Incentives for private developers. This is what the government is focusing on to achieve the redevelopment process and the inclusive growth. Mumbai transformation initiatives. Government of Maharashtra has already taken up the transformation of Mumbai and the metropolitan region. The central idea is to make the city globally competitive by offering quality life and sustainable infrastructure and high-end amenities. MMRDA is spearheading this mission in partnership with various other government agencies. We are an agency established in 1975, about more than 25 years back, primarily for planning, coordination, monitoring, and rapid development of the areas in the metropolitan region. We also execute plans, projects, and schemes. We also finance major transport infrastructure and civic infrastructure in the metropolitan region through real estate revenues. The government's major thrust is on inclusive economic growth, developing human resource, access for better jobs and self-employment, promoting select manufacturing activities, non-polluting of course, providing support to service sector and addressing the socio-economic issues, considering the slum dwellers and dilapidated building dwellings. The transformation process is basically moving on two-pronged strategy, creating affordable housing stock. That's one of the major demand in the city. Then sustainable infrastructure development. We are working on multiple CBD development direction. About 25 years back, the CBD in the south, that is the biggest reason for the transportation demand, was developed at Nariman Point and Backway Reclamation. We are now halfway through development of a Bandra Kurla complex, which is one of the premier real estate area in Mumbai. And very soon, American consulate is moving into this place. We are also giving thrust to developing additional CBD areas in Andheri Kurla zone through TOD, that is transit-oriented developments. Here, we are allowing higher FSI, that is, I think in US it is called FER, and vertical developments. Creating housing stock is also on the agenda. Revised housing policy, Urban Land Ceiling Act has been repealed. Urban renewal by cluster approach has been given thrust by the government. A major redevelopment of slum is happening under slum rehabilitation strategy and also Dharavi redevelopment scheme. 50,000 low-cost housing in metropolitan region are envisaged in the next 2 to 3 years through government and also government rental housing. So by 2020, what we are trying to look at is creating some 6 million dwelling units by reducing the poor dwelling units to less than 50,000. Sorry, half a million. Recently, we have completed a comprehensive transportation plan, totaling about 50 billion investment by 2031. The two images show the mass transit network for 2031 and highway network. We also have implemented phase 1 transport infrastructure projects costing about $2 billion during the last 7-8 years. One of them is partially funded by the World Bank, and the other one is internally funded by MMRDA. I would like to draw your attention that both the projects are inclusive in nature. We are taking care of rehabilitation and resettlement, the major social issue in Mumbai, through free housing and then also giving several tax concessions. Phase 2 sustainable infrastructure development is also on the anvil with a focus on public transport. We are working on metro rail projects, monorail projects, bus rapid transit systems, then water supply and sanitation projects, and stormwater drains, and modernization of existing airport and a brand new airport in the metropolitan region. The Mumbai Metro project is about developing 147 kilometers of metro rail network to be completed by 2015, costing about $9.5 billion. A 50-kilometer metro network is already under implementation. This project is being implemented under BOT, public-private partnership, build, operate, and transfer, with a 35 years concession period. A monorail project about 22 kilometers is already under implementation, scheduled to be completed by 2011. An additional 25-kilometer monorail projects are in the preparation. Together, these projects are estimated to cost about $2 billion US. Other major highway projects, I would like to emphasize on the Mumbai Trans-Harbour link. It's about 22-kilometer harbor crossing link connecting Mumbai with the mainland. You can actually see the rightmost image. So it's costing about 1.5 billion US. This link is going to transform the entire Mumbai metropolitan region by providing fast connectivity to hinterland and reducing the real estate pressure on the Mumbai. Civic infrastructure, as I was telling, it's about $80 million US drinking water project, about $500 million sewerage disposal project, and $400 million sewage, stormwater drain project. Together, we are talking about $51 billion investment in infrastructure by 2021. This is basically focusing on the sustainable infrastructure within the metropolitan region. Coming to high-rise buildings, the subject of the conference, Government of Maharashtra has taken up its initiative in developing high-rise building at one of the land sites which is owned by MMRDA. The expected built-up area is going to be about 5.6 million square feet, and the targeted height is about 531 meters. We wish to be among the top 10 buildings at least. The project has already been floated. We have invited expression of interest. There is a huge response. Some of the American firms have shown their interest. This project is going to be integrated with a transportation hub comprising of interstate bus terminal and a metro and monorail terminals together. And this also has been included as a Golden Jubilee project of Maharashtra government, which we are celebrating in the next year. A similar project is also under consideration at Nariman Point, where a 74-hectare land is coming up for redevelopment through MMRDA. Just for your information, this is the project site. In violet color is the project site. It is having excellent transport connectivity with integration to various modes. Current scenario in high-rise developments in Mumbai, about 1,000 odd tall buildings are existing in Mumbai city. When I say tall buildings, these are 20+ storied buildings. 270 are under consideration, and 70 are in planning. These are some of the sites. Nearly 200 more high-rise buildings are expected in the next 5 years in the metropolitan region. Our aim is to create more per capita space of living and workspaces, open spaces, transport and infrastructure. These are some of the buildings under construction. These are architects' views. So now we have already crossed the 60-70 floors heights. So I would like to make a point here that Mumbai skyline is changing. The city is now ready to accept sustainable high-rise buildings, and there is a great opportunity for global technical expertise. To conclude this presentation, I would like to welcome you to the Ctbuh conference in 2010 at Mumbai in the February. I don't want to say goodbye, I'd like to say namaste, welcome to Mumbai. Thank you.